Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. People are taking time off, but not me. No, we are working. You know why? Because I have been singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star at 4 a.m. Yeah, that's right. It's a terrible twos. So I'm very little sleep and a lot of coffee. Look at this. We're going to talk about the controversy. The Cartridge controversy. That's right. Guys, this for me has been a great product. It has been the year of ATARI, at least for me. And let me tell you, I'm very happy with my product. I am. But there's people in the Intellivision community that are not happy because they don't have a cartridge. And I'm going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. And what you need to know is that there's not many of us around. Not many of us to make it feasible to produce these products to a point of profit, right? To the extent that people want. People want out there a cartridge. I think this is a great beginning for the console. But let's say you do want that cartridge in there. How would you do it? I can give you an idea how I would do it that would be economically feasible for the company and still make people happy, right? To a point. Some people are never going to be happy. It doesn't matter what you do. Some people always want you to bend backwards, right? But I think a good compromise could be reached. Let me give you my idea. To make it more cost effective, and if I had a section of the public that wanted this, what I would do is the following. I would create the second console, the second generation of this console, would come with a 7800 slot on the side here, right? You would have the 7800 slot here. So it would be compatible to the games that you already have. You could play, any game from the 7800 library. Just pick up one of these bad boys, put it on there, and then you could also have your new line. Let me get a good one here. What am I going to get? Oh, here we go. Let's get backgammon. So Tommy Tallarico can enjoy it out there. No, guys, but what you can do is once you have the 7800 slot in there, right? Once you have the 7800 to put this in, you can create an adapter to play original Intellivision cards. Now, is that going to make everybody happy? No, but it's going to give you the ability to play your cards on the machine. It could be through emulation, whatever. But at least you're plugging in the card. But this adapter is going to cost money, and it has to be profitable for the company. Nobody's going to make you anything, and this is the part that people sometimes don't get. Nobody's making anything without making money. It could even be a third party, if you will. But if the company was going to make it, they have to charge enough money to make it worth people's while. Now, how many people are going to order this? That's the question, right? That's the golden question. We don't know how many, at least I don't know how many Intellivision Sprints have sold. I would imagine it's a good seller, right? Just by the response of people. But the adapter, how many people are going to order the adapter? Do you do it on pre-order? Do you do it on Kickstarter? What would be the price? Let me tell you, from everything that I've seen, for the numbers that I've seen, right? Let's just say it's 10,000, right? For the sake of argument, just say it's 10,000. What is this adapter going to cost? Is the adapter going to have software and chips within itself, right? You're really looking at about $100 or a little bit over $100 just for the adapter. Are you willing to pay that in order to play your games? Because nobody's going to make a Intellivision FPGA. Let's face it, they're just not. It's not in the realms of possibility right now, unless you guys know something I don't. Since that's not going to happen, this would be the closest best, right? It's just to have a 7800 slot in the side that you could put an adapter to, mount an adapter, and then based on that, put on all your other add-ons that are original to the console. That would be one way of doing it, and that would give the option to other people that really want to play the games to just buy the adapter, order the adapter, put it on there. Could it be developed through a third party like My Arcade? Possibly. Again, it's going to cost money. It's going to cost over $100 if you really want to do it right. Are you willing to pay that money? You know, guys like me, old timers like me, sure, we're gonna spend that kind of money, but is there enough of us, right, to warrant making the molds, putting the technology, doing all that stuff? That's the real question. I think that's why you would need, even if a third party does it. You know, if ATARI just comes out with an Intellivision with a port on the side of the 7800, you have to gauge what the interest is. You know, and how many people are willing to order it, and how much people are willing to pay. You know, for 10,000, you know, maybe there's something there, right? Because you're looking just at a piece of plastic molding. You know, there's some chips in there for emulation. Maybe you don't even need it with the hardware that's in here. That's just my idea, right? That could be the next step forward if I was going to do it, right? And keep the company profitable and not start making all these other machines. Because, guys, once you start developing consoles that have different, you know, operating systems, different hardware configurations, that's where you really start losing money. You want everything the same, right? The molds can change, but the inner workings of the machine have to stay constant. Now, I'm one of the proponents that eventually Atari should have their own console. You know, something similar to a PS3. It doesn't have to be above that for most of their customer base. If you really just have a PS3 clone or that type of power, you would be able to satisfy, you know, everybody in the community, because we're not really into high graphics and all that stuff. You know, if you had an Atari console for $299 that could play up to 7th generation, you know, hardware games, that'd be great. You know, that'd be great for a lot of people. But regardless, guys, getting back to this point, if you want to go take the next step, you know, the next logical step for this would be to have, at least for me, right, business-wise, would be to have a 7800 slot on the side with an adapter and let you, with that, play your original Intellivision games. What do you guys think? Do you think that could be in the future? I don't know. Probably not, to tell you the truth. But if I was to do it, you know, if there was a push to do it, that would probably be the most economical way. All right, guys, here I am burning the midnight oil because my sleep patterns are just completely gone. And we'll be here. Everybody else is taking a break, but not me. No. I'm making milk. I'm getting the diapers ready. And that is to all our benefit, because I'll be here talking about stuff that only we care about. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. And if you haven't done so, look at all these delicious ports. I'm enjoying this, man. I really am. You know what? Don't be changing the disc. Don't be changing the disc. Jesus Christ. Catch you on the next one. Take care.